Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Judy Stevens. My pronouns are her and hers. I am the chair of the Community Life Committee. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't say it enough for us being back in here in a warm space, all together again. So nice to have you here and for braving the elements. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. This morning, although we do not have guest minister or musicians, we do have some that you have seen around here for quite a while, putting on a special musical program for us today. I draw your attention to the back side of the order of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those of you on live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. After service, refreshments will be served in the community room, and people of all ages are welcome to visit with one another, and please enjoy the food. I hate putting it back in the fridges. After the service, we just did that. If you are new to us, please check out our website, uucmc.org, where you can sign up for latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together. Welcome again to this place of love and hope.
morning. Welcome. My name is Michelle McKenzie-Creech. My pronouns are she and her, and I serve our congregation as your credentialed Director of Family Ministry and Faith Development. And I'm also your worship leader this morning. I hope you'll bear with me and my voice a little bit this morning. I'm not sick, but apparently I've been told that I talk too much. And, and so I've been trying to rest my voice a little, but we'll see if it holds out today. We gather in a time that asks a great deal of us, emotionally, spiritually, and communally. The world can feel strained, uncertain, and in need of care. In moments like these, our tradition reminds us that resilience is not something we carry alone. It is something we build together. Today's service draws from our Unitarian Universalist history and from the wisdom of social change work to explore how collective action, shared responsibility, and mutual care sustain us. Each of us has a role to play. Together we listen for what that role might be, and how love, justice, and resilience take shape when we move forward as community. Our Unitarian Universalist faith has grown from seeds planted by our Unitarian and Universalist ancestors. From them, we have inherited a legacy of courage and compassion, finding new ways to live our values. These are the words of the Reverend Elizabeth Wynn. I'd like you to join me. We'll have it's a unison response, and if you all will join me within that when we get to your part. As Unitarian Universalists, our journey is to transform the big and the small, to transform ourselves, and to transform the world. Universalism means no one is outside the circle of love, and no one is disposable. If you'll read our unison. No one is outside of the circle of love, and no one is disposable. We stubbornly seek out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what. Interdependence means none of us is truly free until we are all free, and our thriving is bound up in each other's and the earth's thriving. We struggle for liberation from violence of white supremacy, sexism, ableism, classism, and homophobia. Our covenants mean we make promises to our communities to honor, love, justice above all else. As we prepare to light our chalice, let us remember our core promises: honor, love, and justice above all else. In the darkest years of World War II, when millions were fleeing Nazi persecution, Unitarian Universalists stepped into that promise. Through the Unitarian Service Committee, Reverend Charles Joy and a network of courageous partners helped refugees escape to safety. To make those life-saving documents carry authority and trust, an Austrian refugee artist named Hans Deutsch designed a symbol that would come to represent hope, protection, and resistance: the flaming chalice. And so today, as our chalice is lit, it is in remembrance of that history as a living symbol of our ongoing commitment to love, justice, and collective liberation. Thank you, Denise, for lighting our chalice. Our chalice lighting words also come from the Reverend Elizabeth Wynn. To be a Unitarian Universalist means we'll never be done with the work of telling the truth about oppression, the work of resisting any laws, policies, or practices that deny anyone their humanity, the work of stubbornly seeking out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what, the work of creating heaven on earth. To be a Unitarian Universalist also means we're not alone in this work. We're not alone because of the promises to love one another. We're not alone because of the companions on the journey. We grow ourselves into allies, helping one another get free, because none of us is truly free until we are all free. And so as we prepare to sing together, we turn to a hymn that names both our longing and our responsibility. Building a new way reminds us that change does not arrive fully formed. It is shaped over time through courage, imagination, and collective effort. As we sing, listen for the ways this hymn speaks to our shared work, building justice where there has been harm, hope where there has been fear, and a new way forward together. Please rise in body and spirit as you are able for building a new way.
A new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Feeling our greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We are worthy of every need. We can feel every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are born. Living stronger every day. We are building a new way.
Our story today is called We Are the Builders by Deepa Iyer, illustrated by Romina Galata. This story might sound familiar to some of you. We used it not long ago in June at our flower communion service, but it's an important story, and since we're drawing from Iyer's work today, it's worth repeating. This story helps us imagine how collective care and social change can look in everyday life. This story reminds us that movements are not made just by heroes, but by the many people showing up in different ways. The builders, the caregivers, the storytellers, the healers, and the helpers. The story invites us to notice how communities grow stronger when everyone has a role, and how change happens when we recognize that when we do what we do together matters. And so as we hear the story, let us listen for where you might hear or see yourself, and how you're already helping to build a more just and loving world. Welcome to our Community Day. Ready to find your role to play? My name is Ramala. I'm your guide. Follow me and stay by my side. So many grown-ups and kids are here. Everyone wants to volunteer. There's plenty to do in our town. Help new friends plant trees in the ground. The time is now. Let's all play a part. Listen and learn what moves your heart. We are builders. We form and forge, construct and fix, improve homes with nails and bricks. See those old desks, tables, and chairs, good as new with some repairs. Who wants to join the builders? We are caregivers. We comfort, console, soothe, and cheer. Care kits for all, near and dear. Acts of service and words that mend. How can I help my new friend? Who wants to join the caregivers? We are frontline responders. We plan and protect. Stay prepared. Storms brewing, but don't be scared. Stock cans of soup, bags of fresh fruits, gather warm coats, gloves, and boots. Who wants to join our frontline responders? We are the disruptors. We declare, demand, demonstrate, call for change, don't hesitate. Raise our voices, banners, and beats. Meet and march out in the streets. Who wants to join our disruptors? We are experimenters. We scan, invent, and improvise, solve hard problems with fresh eyes. What if these used bottles and bags could become backpacks and bags? Who wants to join the experimenters? We are visionaries. We dream, imagine, and inspire a world we can all admire. Fresh air, clean water, safe and free, bright futures, that's what we see. Who wants to join our visionaries? We are weavers. We stitch, we braid, we intertwine. Common threads link hearts and minds. When people fight or disagree, find what connects you and me. Who wants to join the weavers? We are healers. We renew, restore, and relieve. Tend to those who cry and grieve. Sometimes when the world is too much, we nurture with breath and touch. Who wants to join the healers? We are storytellers. We sing, we dance, we create art, bring joy and love heart to heart. Vibrant murals preserve our past, history's cherished at last. Who wants to join the storytellers? Of the different roles to play, which one feels like you today? You could become a guide like me, show new folks what they can be. We mentor, we advise, we steer, share wisdom, honest and clear. Now that it's clear what we can each do. We want to hear from all of you. What role would you choose? Who would you be? How will you change your community? This story tells us that we each have a role. We each have a part in community, and we each have a part in making our world a better place. We each have a part in doing what we can. So our children, we're going to send our children out to their family ministry and faith development classes, but I'm going to invite our youth, our high school youth, to stay with us for the service today, because I think that there are some things that might be important for you to hear. But grades are elementary and middle school grades, and our youngest will go now in peace to their classes, and the youth are invited to stay. So let us bless the children.
Every week in this congregation, we're provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation and to our social justice partners through the good works of organizations which receive half of the monies collected each month. Our Share the Plate recipient for February is the Parker Family Health Center. Located in Red Bank, it serves as an initial health care access point, allowing uninsured patients to establish a routine relationship with a medical caregiver, similar to a primary care provider. Those of you who've been around in this congregation for a while know, and those of you who are newer, a little bit of information about our connection with Parker Family. The Parker Clinic was set up by father and son practitioners, African American, who were some of the first Black doctors in New Jersey. I believe possibly the first, the father, I'm not sure about that. But one of our congregants, Moose Parker, who was a dentist, is the nephew of the original Dr. Parker, cousin to the second, and grand uncle to the current doctor who practices at the Parker family, who set that up. And I don't know Dr. Parker's first name. I don't know whether anybody here can help me out on that. But the current Dr. Parker, who established the Parker Family Health Clinic, along with her cousins, who provided some of the wherewithal for it. Her great uncle was Moose Parker, and his wife Tid Parker, who are long-term congregants here. For those of you in the Earth Room, the place will be passed by the ushers. Online, a link to our giving page is located in the service description box. You may join this time of generosity via text, your offering by mail, or charge your contribution online with a memo designating an amount. Please give generously.
We are living through a time of moral crisis. Not a passing moment, not a single headline, but a sustained period in which rights, bodies, livelihoods, and entire communities are being tested again and again by systems that have grown accustomed to dehumanization. The pace is relentless. The stakes are high. The cost of paying attention can feel overwhelming. Many of us feel it in our bodies before we can name it with words. A tightness in our chest, a sense of urgency braided with exhaustion. The feeling that something must be done, paired with the fear that whatever we do will never be enough, or that maybe we'll have to do it alone. Lately, I've been sitting with this tension myself. Some days I can act with clarity and courage. Other days I wonder if I'm responding fast enough, boldly enough, visibly enough. And I suspect that I'm not alone. I suspect that many of you have been asking yourselves, what does faithfulness look like in a time like this? And this is where our Unitarian Universalist tradition and the wisdom of Deepa Iyer can offer us some grounding. In her book, Social Change Now, Iyer reminds us that social change does not happen because a few extraordinary people do everything. It happens because many people do something together over time. She names it this social change ecosystem, a living network of values, relationships, and roles that sustain movements for justice. And at the center of the ecosystem is values, our why, the commitments that keep us oriented when the work is costly and confusing. For us, those values are not vague. We name them most every week. We believe in the inherent dignity of every person. We believe that no one is outside the circle of love. We promise honor, love, and justice above all else. And we affirm that none of us is truly free until we are all free. That's part of that interconnection, that interdependence that is so important. These values, they do not live on paper. They live through action. And action, Iyer tells us, takes many forms. She names roles within an ecosystem. You heard some of them in our story. Caregivers, builders, storytellers, healers, weavers, disruptors, advocates, protectors, visionaries. Each role matters. Each requires different skills and carries different risks. And none of them is meant to be filled by everyone all of the time. Although you might find when you figure out what your role is, that there may be times where you're called to be in a different role. All of this matters deeply because burnout so often comes from trying to play a role that isn't ours. We assume justice work only looks like being on the front lines, risking arrest, or being endlessly available. And when we cannot sustain that, when we begin to doubt our commitment, or worse, our worth, our ability to make a difference. But ecosystems like Iyer's, just ecosystems in general, they don't ask the roots to photosynthesize. They don't shame the soil for working underground. There's another truth that we need to name clearly, especially in this moment. Fascism depends on a dangerous fantasy. And we've been talking a lot about the rise of fascism. It's here, my friends. We're no longer rising. Fascism is here. What's dangerous about fascism is that it feeds on the belief that resistance must look one way or not happen at all. It thrives when we are convinced that unless we can be everywhere, risk everything, or take on the most visible and dramatic forms of action, that we are somehow failing or waiting on the sidelines. And this fantasy isolates us, it exhausts us, and it trains us to measure faithfulness to our values by spectacle rather than commitment. And our tradition tells a different truth. It usually does. Unitarian Universalists have never resisted injustice in only one way. We have never relied on a single tactic or a single kind of courage. We have always resisted as an ecosystem. Our history shows this again and again. In 1939, as Nazi violence spread across Europe, the Reverend Waite Still Sharp and his wife, Martha, were asked to leave their home and children and travel to Prague to assist refugees. 17 others declined, and the Sharps said yes. They were not warriors or politicians. Their role was humanitarian accompaniment. They organized aid, they secured documents, they burned files to protect identities, they delivered supplies, including a train load of condensed milk to feed refugee babies. They worked under surveillance, knowing that arrest was possible. Their courage looked like logistics, persistence, and moral clarity. They remind us that solidarity is not always loud. Sometimes it is meticulous. Sometimes it is administrative. Sometimes it looks like staying longer than what's comfortable because other people's lives depend on it. During the struggle against slavery, our tradition again revealed the shape of an ecosystem. It was imperfect, incomplete, but instructive. Some Unitarians and Universalists stayed silent. We tell that truth honestly, but others stepped into abolitionist roles with conviction. The Reverend Theodore Parker was one of them. As a minister, he became an organizer and a disruptor, helping enslaved people escape and challenging the moral complacency of his time. When Anthony Burns, a 19-year-old enslaved person, fled from Virginia to Boston, when he was captured, Parker named the truth that peace without justice is not peace at all. But Parker was not alone. Black abolitionists led resistance. Organizers mobilized crowds. Witnesses gathered. Protectors attempted rescue. The work was collective, not a single role. Later in our history, members of what we now refer to as the Secret Six used their wealth and privilege to support a man named John Brown, who came to Boston seeking aid for abolitionists. Now, this history, if we got into the whole story, it asks us to ask ourselves some hard questions about the choices that were made in that time. And it should. Their story reminds us that when systems refuse to change, Some people step into high-risk roles because conscience demands action, even when the outcomes are uncertain. Justice work is rarely tidy. It is shaped by urgency, fear, hope, and imperfect human judgment. Our tradition does not offer us a script for this. It offers us courage, complexity, and responsibility. In the 20th century, the ecosystem shifted again in New Haven, Connecticut, where Unitarian women became caregivers, organizers, and quiet disruptors when birth control was illegal. They opened basements. They distributed supplies. They warned their children not to speak. Their work was steady, unglamorous, and transformative. Not long after that, Unitarian Universalist ministers joined with rabbis and others, forming something called the Clergy Consultation Service, an underground network that helped women access safe abortions. Their role was moral accompaniment. They used the trust, the pastoral authority, and public defiance to challenge unjust laws, believing that faithfulness required allegiance to a higher law rooted in dignity and agency. And during the AIDS crisis, when many churches turned away, Unitarian Universalist ministers stepped into the role of witness and healer. They sat at bedsides. They buried the dead. They told stories so that love would not disappear. And one minister said that even if no one survived to remember, it mattered that they loved each other well. And so here we are again, living inside another moment that demands clarity, courage, and collective response. Fear is understandable, but our faith calls us not to remain there. We are called to turn our fear into action, and sometimes that action is visible in public, and other times it's quiet and practical, like what's happening in Minneapolis and St. Paul right now, where Unitarian Universalist clergy and religious professionals are organizing to care for their community and support them with aid. What I'm hearing that looks like in Minneapolis right now is preparing meals, donating money, making phone calls, showing up at schools to make sure that children can come and leave safely, offering warm clothing, sending cards and letters of encouragement to congregations and the communities that are under strain in Minneapolis. That's something that we can do too. As Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Dr. Oscar Sinclair, who I believe is at Unity Unitarian in St. Paul, he was recently on MSNBC. And when they asked what he was telling his congregation, and this was just after his arrest a few days earlier, where over 100 clergy showed up in Minneapolis and blocked the airports. Many of them were arrested. They encouraged only clergy that lived in Minnesota to take that risk because there was no aid for people from out of state. Many of our faith leaders were arrested those days, including a few days later, even the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association arrested in Washington, D.C. over funding ICE. In recent days, these faith leaders from across many traditions have spoken out, have spoken about this moral crisis that we are in now. These leaders, they gathered and they organized, and they took action in the face of policies that dehumanize our neighbors. Some of them put their bodies on the line. Some of them were arrested. Others have supported from a distance, organizing logistics, offering care, amplifying stories, sustaining communities. What happened in Minneapolis the other day with this march of clergy and faith leaders is not a single protest. It's part of a larger arc. It is not the work of a few. It is the work of an ecosystem. Not all of us can travel. Not all of us can risk arrest. Not all of us are called to the same expressions of courage. But all of us in this time must be called to something. And this is Deepa Iyer's invitation. The book, Social Change Now, is actually the Unitarian Universalist Association's common read for this year. And it's a little different than most common reads. And so the Adult Religious Education Committee has been trying to imagine if there's a way for us to do this work, possibly in coordination with some of our social justice folks here in the congregation. We even have a member who's a member at another congregation in Delaware who is willing to help us work through this book together. But it's also a book that you can work through alone. In this book, it asks us not to compare ourselves to one another, but to discern our place. To ask, what values are guiding me right now? What skills do I already have? What role allows me to contribute with integrity and sustainability? Some of us are caregivers, creating space of refuge and healing. Some of us are weavers, building relationships across difference. Some of us are storytellers, refusing to let the truth be buried. Some of us are disruptors, naming injustice and interrupting them when they happen. And some of us are builders, creating institutions and practices that endure. None of these roles are optional, and none is superior, and none of them can be carried alone. So here is my charge. Do not believe the lie that resistance only counts if it looks one way, or if it looks dramatic, visible, or all-consuming. Remember what I said earlier, that fascism depends on that fantasy. It thrives when we are convinced that unless we are willing to risk everything, be everywhere, and do the most public work possible, that we are somehow failing or waiting on the sidelines. And Unitarian Universalism has a different truth. So today I ask you to go from this place not asking, am I doing enough? But asking, what is mine to do right now, in this moment, and what gifts do I have? Let your life speak more loudly than your lips. Let your values shape your actions. Let your courage be measured not by spectacle, but by faithfulness. The time is now. And the ecosystem is alive. It always has been. And your role, whatever it is, matters more than you know. And please don't ever doubt that. And so today I've spoken a lot about courage, not the kind that demands fearlessness, but the kind that keeps moving even when fear is present. And it is present, and it will remain present. The song that you're about to hear does not deny fear or minimize its cost. Instead, it names what's possible when we choose love, connection, and purpose. And as you listen to Michael and PJ's beautiful voice, may this music hold whatever you are carrying and remind you that courage often sounds like an ordinary human voice choosing to keep going. May it be so.
Jenny's afraid of water. I mean, she swims so well, but still she's afraid of water. And so she won't go near the sea. Not me. And Katie's afraid of darkness. I mean, she sleeps and all, but still she's afraid of darkness. And when the lights are out, she has to hold my hand, and I don't understand. I'm not afraid of anything, be it mountains, water, dragons, dark or sky. I'm not afraid of anything. Tell me, where's the challenge if you've never tried? So watch me fly. I'm not afraid. Daddy's afraid of babies. I mean, he got through me, but now he's afraid of babies. I guess he's scared of what they'll be. Not me. Oh, and Mama's afraid of crying. I mean, she tries to hold it in, but she's afraid of crying. And she can look at me with tears stuck in her eye, and I don't know why. I'm not afraid of anything, be it growing old or going out of style. I'm not afraid of anything. Who would give up what they want without a trial? Another mile. I'm not afraid. And I feel the calling of adventure, and I hear the ringing in my ear. The lights are glaring, trumpets blaring. I'm right here. And I hear the calling of tomorrow, and I feel the stirring in my bones. And David loves me. He's afraid to hold me. Listen to the calling of excitement. Can you feel the pounding in my heart? The lights are ready, pulse is steady. I can start. Never stop the calling of the challenge, blessing of the water and the stones. And David loves me. He's afraid to tell me. David loves me. He's afraid to trust me. He's afraid to hold me. And he'll always be. He's afraid of me. And I'm not afraid of anyone. I am sure to win with anyone at all. I'm not afraid of anyone. Not a soul alive can get behind this wall. So let them call and watch them fall. 'Cause after all, I'm not afraid.
Now, I hear, I'm a little out of the loop these days, but I hear that PJ and Tom are going to do a concert. I think it's sold out. Is that true?
The first one sold out, the next one's in April. There's a second date.
There's going to be a second date. Yeah. So check that out. I saw a beautiful poster in the lobby. Find out if you don't have tickets for the first one, figure it out how to get tickets for the next one. Let us prepare ourselves for a time of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, gracious and loving God of many names and none, for whom all things come and all things return. We gather on the edge of another week, and for some of us, on the edge of our strength. We come buoyed by events of our week, or weighed down by them, or we arrive in some paradoxical mix. Therefore, we are here in our Sunday assembly of hope and restoration. At times we come weary and worn down, and for some, that is how we arrive today. And at other times we come with questions, with a longing, or with something to offer. But for those who came today shattered, broken, lonely, and lost, let us offer our prayer of resilience. Again, this week, we test the tender places in our hearts and in our lives to see what healing may occur. Gratitude is often the source of healing. We give thanks for the landscapes of grace in our life, for music and for good companions, for the guidance of great principles, and the examples of integrity around us. We give thanks for all that lifts us up and for the lessons that lead us on. For the times when we are brought low by anxiety or adversity, show us the hidden wells of love we can tap into. Help us rise up once more, just once more, and then once more again, and it will surely be enough. Remind us we do not strain in vain, that we are part of a chorus, that resilience is in our bones, that peace will prevail on earth and in our hearts, and that healing and grace come like soft rain. Be thou an ever-present strength on journeys, and teach us that in falling down, we do rise again. This we ask in the name of all that is holy. And as we move now into our meditation, I want to invite you to remain seated, to settle into your body. This is not simply a time of silence. This is a grounding practice, an opportunity to breathe, to notice, to return to ourselves. In moments of moral urgency, our nervous systems are often on high alert. Breathing together helps remind us that we are safe enough right now to pause, and that steadiness is part of how we sustain the work ahead. You may close your eyes if you feel comfortable and you know the words. Let your feet rest on the floor, your body supported by the chair, and your breath come and go in its own rhythm as we enter this time of meditation and sing together meditation on breathing.
Hello, everyone. As you can see, I chose the slide that has all three parts. It's right there, and 1, 2, 3, the lines. We all know this and have sung this, but it has those great 3 layers. So we'll do in the usual canonical way that I like to allocate. We'll all sing them in that order, but you'll start at different times. Those who are starting first are those born between January and April. Those born between May and September will start second, and those born between September and December will sing third. I will sing every entrance, and we'll do it once right now. I'll just go through the whole thing. That first one is very easy. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And the second we all know. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out. And the third is, when I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. And then just keep, and then you go back to the beginning, keep going through. All right, first part of the year's birthdays, starting now, I'll sing with you. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. First party. Breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out. Last part in. Breathe in, I'll breathe, I'll breathe out peace. When I breathe in, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in. When I breathe out, when I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, when I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in,
breathe out, when I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, now I'll breathe out peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out.
Now sing any part you want. Sing any part you want.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
As we prepare to sing our closing hymn, we remember that the work we've named today is not meant to be done alone. Come and Go With Me is a song of companionship, a reminder that faithfulness is something we practice side by side, in motion, as we carry love and justice beyond these walls. And now let us sing. Let these words remind us that we go together, supported by one another and strengthened for the road ahead. Please rise in body and spirit.
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There will be a freedom in that land. There will be a freedom in that land where I'm bound. There will be a freedom in that land. There will be a freedom in that land. There will be a freedom in that land where I'm bound.
benediction comes from the Reverend Joel Miller. Let our lives be a prayer. Let our lives be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, and carries us through its storms. Go in peace and in love to bless the world. Thank you.